Okay, the meeting will please come to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, before we sit down, I'd like to ask people to stand and have a moment of silence in memory of former Fire Captain Edmund Bondi. He passed away on May 10th. He retired from the City of Mount Clemens Fire Department in 1987 after 23 years of service. Thank you. Roll call.
Bunton. Campbell.
Here.
Dempsey. Ford.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Crop. Here. Menser.
She's coming.
We need a motion to...
Okay, we need a motion to excuse Mayor Dempsey and Commissioner Bunton.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Campbell.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Okay, we come to announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports.
We're going to have Jeff Wood. Jeff Wood is going to talk about the sidewalk program.
So at a recent work session regarding the implementation of a sidewalk program, the consensus from this body was to separate the city into 10 different sections that would have about equal lengths of sidewalk in them, and to randomly select a section in the city to start the implementation of this sidewalk program. So Lisa has a bucket that has numbers 1 through 10 in there, the other half of these cards. So if Mayor Pro Tem, if you could just draw one of those, and that's the section that we're in to implement the sidewalk program.
I can do it. Is this
I'd say it's one. Ace.
One is one, yes.
Good
okay?
place to start.
So,
Right.
and that would be a section within the Seminole Hills subdivision.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
Notice.
just put my house down.
Just
put my house down.
Yeah, we're going to begin this probably not till July, after July 1. There will be some notices given to residents. We're going to put some stuff in the Clementine, so when the contractor is here, if there's anybody else throughout the city that is interested in using the city's contractor to get their sidewalk repaired, they can do so.
Okay, thank you. Any other announcements? That's it? Okay, moving along. Adoption of the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Roll call?
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, now comes the time for public participation. If you wish to speak, please come to the microphone, give your name, your address, and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. So please come forward if you'd like to speak.
Hi, Michelle Sanders Owens. I have some questions versus trying to explain something. I wanted to ask, how do you get the funding for summer programs or programs for the summer? And how did it get taken away if it's not there anymore? And I don't recall the last meeting, what they were doing with Shady Side Park. And then I have another question about the parking, I guess is the parking garage right here downtown Mount Clemens. What are they building there?
Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, it's just and then they got the new one down the way. Okay, and then I wanted to know how, are you able to get something on the agenda? Do it have to be like voted on? Like I said, that's the question.
You would need to contact the city manager.
The city, and who is that?
Ms. Borges.
Okay, okay, I'll contact you.
Okay.
And then your question about the funding for summer programs will be answered in administrative responses, I believe. So,
And I'm new to this, so what's administrative response?
well, that's our next agenda item, actually.
Oh, it's the next?
Yeah.
like, Okay, and that's the next month?
No, right now.
Right now? Oh, it's going to be
Today,
addressed?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, not the answer to your questions today.
No,
Or
not, I know I'm not getting the
No,
They'll be
but
in the
the-
next
I did to be in the
meeting,
next
yeah.
one.
The one about the summer program funding is addressed in the administrative response.
Okay, and then, again, like I said about the medical marijuana, how do, or where do I start to find out what is the reason for the moratorium and how can it be moved forward, or what questions, or who should I be talking to versus mentioning it when I come here each time? Or should I continue to mention it here?
That's on the administrative response, too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so I guess that's it for right now.
And I'll talk to you after the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, my name is Rick Glock. I live at 207 Cambridge. As was mentioned last week, there's a very misleading article that was published by the Macomb Daily electronic version. A great many people read the electronic version. It was posted on many Facebook places that I saw. If you read that Facebook article, or the electronic article that was posted to Facebook, you would see that the farmers market is a done deal. It's going to be completed in the spring of 2018. That was a quote that was attributed to the mayor. Mayor Pro Tem commented that the article was erroneous. One of the commissioners commented that we haven't decided anything yet, we're still investigating it. But everybody read the article, but nobody heard you say that. Nobody heard him say that. Is the city going to put out some kind of response to correct this misconception that's out there? If so, when? If not, why not?
Well, number one, anybody that attended any of the meetings that were held, and there were two separate occasions, the commission voted at one meeting to authorize the bond.
That's not the question.
No, wait a second, it is the question. In the second meeting was, all the city authorized was to seek bids for construction, hiring a contractor, et cetera. In neither one of those meetings, and it was made clear at both of those meetings, that it was not a done deal, that that was all that was being authorized.
And
Now,
the-
that was at two city meetings.
And the only people that know that are the people that are at the city meeting or that or go ahead and read listen to that video after the meeting. My question is, what about the misconception that the general public has because
Call
of
up the
quotes that...
Macomb Daily, the reporter, and say you erroneously published this.
If they said something that was erroneous to the fact, the city would correct that. If it was detrimental to the city, they'd be out there correcting it right now.
How?
This happened.
How?
Publish a retraction. That's normal procedure.
That's up to the Macomb Daily.
Okay.
Not
So
up
in
to
other
the
words, the city
city.
is not going to do anything.
Right.
They're just going to let it go and let all these people operate under the assumption that because the mayor said it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Okay, if I could say, the reporter was contacted and asked
Pardon?
to, the reporter was contacted and asked to clarify.
I haven't seen anything.
I have not either, but he was
Can you
contacted.
find out when they're going to do that?
I will ask them,
Because
but
the
he was
world is still out
contacted.
there of the opinion that this is going to happen. Done deal. I mean, I listened to what they said here. She said it wasn't right. He said, hasn't been decided. But yet, you go out there and ask 100 people on the street if they read that article, if they read the article, it's a done deal.
Unfortunately, though, the city can contact her, or can contact the reporter, him, but they don't have to
Understand that.
retract
If they don't
anything,
have-
and I think that's where they're standing on it.
Then maybe the city should issue a statement that we've contacted, we tried to correct the information, but it's not being happened.
Anyone else?
Dolores Kasiniak, 250 Euclid. Last week I complained about the speed bump on Hubbard, and I don't think because of me, but 2 days later, they were out there digging it up. And I thought, oh gee, so I stopped and I thanked them. They took all the humps out and they put a final finish. I guess they had like another foot to go. And it was Luigi and Sons, and I stopped and I talked a little bit of Italian to him. I says, how they were doing. He said, good, good, you know, and he says, you like to work? And I says, I like it, but last week I was over the bump, you know. He said, we fix everything. So they're doing a good job, but I think they were already scheduled to go out there, not because I complained about it. But there is progress being done in Mount Clemens.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening. Danielle Turpkoff, 54 Dorothea. Last time I was here was about 2 months ago when I requested the street cleaner and them doing a better job. Last time they did a very, I have to say, they have done did a very good job. And it just was days later after I was at the meeting, somebody said, well, look. And we were like, yay, because finally, didn't even, all the mess and dirt was gone. I was very pleased with that. And I'm also glad to hear that the farmers market will be locating to downtown Mount Clemens in 2018. I remember when I...
See, another misconception.
Well, around that area, it shouldn't take that long.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you, but it still has not been voted. We're waiting for bids to see how much it's going to cost.
Oh, well, no, maybe I won't give it, well, it won't be any particular date, I guess, but, I mean, I'll say in the near future.
It's under consideration.
Well, in the near future, I hope to see it downtown Mount Clemens once again.
Okay.
I remember when it first was downtown, and it was in a nice area, and as always, it always draws big crowds, especially on the weekends. And also, I hope the sidewalks get underway because there has been, as I mentioned before, not just only the one on Elizabeth, but 2 doors down from where I live at 60 Dorothea. A couple of times I almost tripped on it, and I have to tell other people I'm around there, just watch your step. And then across the street from Macomb YMCA over to that one hotel across the street. So I just, I know we've been talking about this for a long time, but I hope that gets started on before somebody falls and breaks their neck. I would hate to see anybody hurt themselves. And now the weather is nice and warm, and so hopefully we should see things get underway. One thing I really wished, I know maybe I'm not sure if any of us have any control over it, but I wish that more of the streets would start to be repaired in Mount Clemens. That's everywhere, but I've been in some streets that used to be smooth, and they're so bumpy. I'd hate to break my axles on account of that. Well, nice to see all of you this evening, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle.
Anyone else? Okay, we will move on to administrative responses to issues and questions raised during previous meetings.
A resident expressed her disappointment that she was issued a blight violation for having tires in her yard. The vast majority of blight complaints are neighbor initiated. When a complaint is received, it is the duty of the city's code enforcement officers to investigate and, if substantiated, to issue an ordinance violation. A resident conveyed her concerns that there is nothing for kids to do at Shadyside Park and asked why there aren't any summer programs for kids. Summer programs for kids that were once offered through the city's Parks and Recreation Department were discontinued when the Parks and Recreation Department was eliminated due to budget constraints in 2004. A resident inquired if the city would be allowing medical marijuana dispensaries in the city. The City Commission will be meeting over the next few months to review and discuss the 2016 legislation Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act before making any decisions. A resident questioned why the proposed Mount Clemens Farmers Market shed is not included in the proposed 2017-2018 fiscal year budget. First, the City Commission has only authorized initiation of the bond application process and the placing of requests for proposals for qualified contractors to formulate and present bids for the cost of construction. Once that is accomplished, the City Commission must review the design, construction, total project costs, and bond issuance costs in order to determine whether or not to approve the project. In the event the project is approved, the estimated $1.5 million bond issuance would require annual repayment of $69,000, with the DDA contributing $52,000 and the city $17,000. Based upon the foregoing, this item is not includable in the pending 2017-2018 fiscal year budget.
Thank you. Moving on to the approval of the minutes for the May 1st meeting.
Move to approve the minutes of the May 1st, 2017 City Commission meeting.
Support.
Did you second it?
Ron did.
Oh, Ron did.
He
Okay.
beat me to it.
Roll call?
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to general business. Agenda item 9A, adoption of the 2017-2018 budget appropriations resolution and millage rates. Is there a motion?
Move to adopt the millage rates request for the 2017 property taxes and to adopt the budget appropriations resolution for the 17-18 fiscal year.
Support.
A public hearing was held on May 1st, 2017 for the City of Mount Clemens 2017-2018 fiscal year budget and property tax millage rates. The millage rates for the City of Mount Clemens are as follows. General Fund 19.9220, Dial-A-Ride 0.9101, Pension Fund 0.9101, Sanitation Fund 0.3. Total citywide millages will be levied at 22.0422 mills, and the Downtown Development Authority District millage will be levied at 1.6132 mills. The proposed budget was prepared using the maximum allowable millage under the Headley Amendment.
Okay, is there discussion, questions? Are you ready to vote? Okay. Roll call?
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
No.
Campbell,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill.
Yes. Okay, the motion passes. Next item is agenda item 9B, approve purchases and payment of invoices.
Move to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Support.
Any
Discussion.
question or discussion? Commissioner Menser?
I have a question for Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray, I wrote the purchase order at the county for the purchase of the two computers through HP. Is that any kind of conflict if I vote on this?
You're not personally
Okay.
benefiting from it.
No, it caused me a lot of work.
We thank
So
you
she's
for
going to
your
vote
work.
no.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call?
Menser,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Agenda item 9C, adoption of resolution extending moratorium regarding the establishment of businesses engaged in dispensation or distribution of medical marijuana. Is there a motion?
Can't find it. You're on 9B?
9C.
C.
sorry, go ahead. Oh,
The item that was added.
Motion to adopt the
Yep.
attached resolution extending the November 2nd, 2015 moratorium regarding establishment of businesses engaged in the dispensation or distribution of medical marijuana.
Support.
Is there any discussion, questions?
She has to read that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
On November 2nd, 2015, the City Commission adopted a resolution imposing a 180-day moratorium prohibiting the establishment of any business or premises for the distribution or dispensation of marijuana other than for use by the person occupying the premises as a resident who has a debilitating medical condition allowing the use of marijuana as allowed pursuant to state law. On April 18th, 2016, the Commission extended the moratorium for an additional 180 days, effective May 1st, 2016. On October 17th, 2016, the Commission further extended the moratorium for an additional 180 days, effective October 29th, 2016. This moratorium extension was based upon pending legislation which would establish 5 categories of regulated medical marijuana business, establish licensing requirements and licensing fees for the same, create an excise and sales tax for medical marijuana, and allow municipalities to prohibit such businesses if they so choose. On September 14, 2016, the State House gave final approval to said legislation, and the same was sent to Governor Snyder for signature. Based upon the foregoing, the administration recommends that the November 2, 2015 moratorium, as extended, be further extended for an additional 180 days to review said legislation to determine whether growing, dispensing, transporting, and/or distribution of medical marijuana within the city should occur, and if so, what regulatory controls should be implemented, and to further exercise due diligence in order to protect the public health, safety, and welfare.
I would add one thing, and that is that the new legislation, the state has taken one full year to set up a bureaucracy that's going to be similar to the Liquor Control Commission to govern the entire medical marijuana field. That agency will not be running and accepting applications to be involved in one of the 5 businesses until December 15th of this year. So the point being, there's no reason, anyone who wants to get involved in the business is going to have to go through that state licensing process, and they're not going to be allowed to even apply until December 15th. And then the communities have the option of allowing all of the 5 types of businesses, none of them, or any one of them. So that's the reason Lisa scheduled a workshop that'll be coming up shortly, and we'll try and get some type of feedback as to what the commission's interest in the subject is. And if there is interest, then we would draft some ordinances covering whatever type of activity there's interest in allowing. If there is no interest in allowing any of it, then we would draft, even though we don't have to, we would draft a simple ordinance spelling out that we are not engaging in any of the activity.
Okay.
so all of the state laws are, I'm sorry, is it open for discussion?
Yes.
Okay. All of the state law now defines all the 5 categories and everything. So all of that legislation is available, and we
passed.
can discuss all that,
Yep.
and that's not going to change. Well,
Right.
in theory, that stuff's not going to change.
No.
Okay, so we
It's
can-
been long overdue. See, for
Right.
a number of years, there was no guidelines. And so you had Oakland County raiding dispensaries and saying you couldn't have them. You had Wayne County saying they were fine. And, you know, there really was no guidance at all. This finally provides a system to regulate it.
but it's not available until, really, to actually conduct business until
Right.
after December 1st.
15th.
15th, okay,
Right.
December 15th,
That's
okay.
when they can apply.
Okay,
And the 5 businesses are growing, processing, transporting, dispensaries, and testing facilities. So there's 5 different types of businesses that they are going to license. So this moratorium will essentially run through November, which at that point in time, by then, we ought to know if we, what the city intends to do.
So
And
we'll
if
hold-
so, we'll have ordinances in place for the December 15th,
So-
when the state starts.
we will hold work sessions, so people who are
Right.
interested should come to those work sessions and
Right.
give us input and things.
Yes.
Okay.
So did you want to announce when the?
June 19th will be the first work session on this subject. June 19th. It'll probably be about 5:45. So there's ample time to get some questions in. It'll be posted though, so.
Okay. Any other discussion, questions? Okay, moving along, consent agenda.
We need to
You gotta
vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Campbell,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes,
Menser.
Yes.
Okay, now we're ready for the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
support.
Roll call?
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes,
Menser,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, city managers report.
A work session was held this evening at 6 o'clock for a city commission informational update and also for a presentation from AEW on water rate study. Advancing Macomb, sponsor of the East Side Bike Drive that took place this past fall, will be distributing approximately 600 bikes that were donated and refurbished to kids and their families at Freedom Hill on Saturday, May 20th, from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. I do want to thank everybody who donated to that bike program because this will really benefit a lot of kids. City offices will be closed on Monday, May 29th, in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. Refuse pickup will run 1 day behind schedule for the entire week. The regular pickup schedule will resume on Monday, June 5th. And special events, the annual Art Macomb Mount Clemens Art Fair presented by the Anton Art Center will be held on June 2nd through June 4th on Macomb Place. The hours are Friday from noon to 7, Saturday from 10 to 7, and Sunday from 10 to 5. Macomb Place will be closed from southbound Gratiot to Pine Street during the event. For more information, please contact the Anton Art Center at 586-469-8666. The car show and cruise night will be coming up. It's the 26th annual Bud Light Classic Car Show and Cruise Night held Saturday, June 3rd, downtown on Main Street from noon to 10 p.m. Registration night will take place the night before on June 2nd from 5 to 10 p.m. on Main Street at Market Street. For more information, please contact 586-469-4168.
Okay, thank you. Now it's time for commissioner comments, and we will start with Commissioner Ford.
Do you want to,
No comments.
do 14A?
No, not until after.
Not until after?
That's after executive.
Okay.
No comments? Commissioner Menser.
Okay. If you're looking for a night out, the Mount Clemens Elks is having comedy night, May 20th. The doors open at 6:30. The show starts at 7:30. They're going to have a raffle, cash bar, $20 a person. It's a good fundraiser for them. They are on Main Street, right near the post office. The Italian American Bar Association of Michigan is offering a free legal clinic to residents here on Thursday, the 18th, that's this week, from 5:30 to 8. It's going to be at the Italian American Cultural Society building on Romeo Plank Road, kind of right behind Partridge Creek there. They will talk about give you general guidance on family law, real estate, criminal cases, injury, and then general business and employment law. So if you need somebody to just kind of point you in the right direction and you need it done free, this is a pro bono or a free night with volunteer attorneys. You can call 248-457-7189 and ask them more questions, okay? I want to congratulate Ken Kish. He took first place in the general columns category in the annual Excellence in Journalism Awards sponsored by the Detroit chapter of the Society of Professional Journalists. Ken's a longtime Macomb Daily editor and longtime city resident. I wanted to talk about the Mount Clemens Optimist Club. We are going to do little free libraries throughout the city. There are about 11 parks in the city, but we're going to start with maybe 2 schools and 6 parks. If you have children's books that you would like to donate that we can put in the little free libraries, certainly contact me. I'm hoping that you can maybe drop them off here and I'll come and get them, or you can contact any member of the Optimist Club. We're really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a great thing. And I participated last week, Sunday, in the Mount Clemens Community Cleanup. There was a big group of us. I did a lot of weeding, a lot of weeding and a lot of weeding. But it was a nice day, and it was really good to see residents out there and some business owners, and Phil Gilchrist from the Anton Arts Center out there, working on cleaning up the city. There is, in the Macomb Daily, there has been, for the last couple of weeks, the Best of the Macomb Daily Reader's Choice Awards. There are a lot of businesses in Mount Clemens that are up for awards. It's an extensive list. I won't give you that list all today. But there are some businesses that are up for 2 and 3 awards. One of my favorites, of course, Miller Brothers is up for not only Best Dessert Place, but also Best Ice Cream. The Old East Side Tavern's up for Best Cheeseburger along with Seaburgers, and Max and Ollie's, I think, is up for 3 different awards. So it would be really great if all of the residents could vote on that and help our businesses get the recognition that they deserve. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Commissioner Kropp.
When did we contact tour was this week?
Last week.
It was last week. we had the pleasure of going to the Comtech facility that's the county owns, and we receive all of our dispatch services through them. It was a really impressive facility, and I feel as though our citizens are receiving top-notch service from that facility. I was glad to see where our money was going, and it was really very impressive. So if you ever get the opportunity, I would suggest going. I was driving around town and noticed last week an issue that I think might happen more frequently in the city because it's spring and we're getting into the summer months. There are quite a few of the donation boxes that are on our different business properties. So there's a couple located near my house, right on southbound Gratiot, that are right by the Family Dollar in that parking lot. There are, I think, 3 or 4 boxes in there. And you can donate, shoes and clothes and by throwing them in this box, and they go to who knows where. They don't go to people in our community, I don't believe. They're national organizations. People use these boxes as refuge. And they are not for garbage. And when people are moving out of their houses, they are certainly not to put mattresses by and old furniture. It's listed right on these boxes what can be put into the containers, and we have city ordinances against. So if you see people dumping those things, please call the sheriff's office. Right? Am I wrong? Call the sheriff's office. If you see people illegally dumping anywhere, I suppose, you should do that. But this in particular. But I want to thank our new blight officer because I reported it. I saw it on Monday morning when I was driving back into town from being at our cottage, and I saw it, and I reported it to our blight officer, and he, our new blight officer, jumped right on it, and it was cleaned up completely by Wednesday. And I was just really pleased to see that because it was right on one of our thoroughfares, and all of these people who drive in and out of town see that, and it's a mess, and we should all be taking pride in our city and not just dumping garbage all over the place. And that also leads me to, of course, it's spring cleanup time, and so especially if you live on one of these thoroughfares, people are driving into Mount Clemens, and we want to give them the impression that the people that live here care about our city, because the majority of our residents do care about this city. And so clean up your place. It doesn't take any money to pull your weeds. It doesn't take any money to make sure that your place doesn't look like it's falling down. Well, maybe it takes a little bit of money for that. But there's a lot of things that you can do to make your place look presentable and like someone lives there who cares without spending any money. It's called elbow grease. And I know it's not fun, but we need to do that. If everybody put a little effort into it, it would go a long way, and it would change a lot of the way that people look at Mount Clemens. That being said, a lot of people have mentioned that they would like to be notified when the street sweepers are coming down their street. And the city has listened, and they have now posted a notice on the city Facebook page of when the street sweepers will be down the streets. So pay attention, look out for your street, and get your car off the street so they can do their job. Because I don't want to hear complaints that they don't know when the streets, because now they're doing it. So get your car off the street. I also want to make sure that you like the city Facebook page, so then that way you have all this information. Are they going to put it in the Clementine? Probably not.
Oh, I think it's
That's a
hard
little
to
bit
do
of
that
too
ahead
far in
of time,
advance.
right.
Maybe post it on our city webpage in case you're not on a social media page, a social media channel. And the only other comment I was going to make was that I missed the last meeting due to my husband and I had to attend a gala in New York City for our business, and we had the opportunity to be in a world-renowned show house for our cabinet company, and everything that was made in that kitchen was brought from Mount Clemens, Michigan. And I was really proud to be able to stand in a room where Martha Stewart took our brochure, and that was the only brochure that she carried out of the house, and it all came from Mount Clemens, Michigan. And I was really proud of that, and I was really excited, so thank you. That was it.
Thank you. Commissioner Campbell?
Just like to give a thank you to all the city administration that worked putting together the budget. There were a few hiccups this year, but compared to past years, it was a fairly smooth process. Like I said, there's a few things that were a few hiccups, but for the most part, it went well, and thank you to them.
Thank you. I'll echo that in my comments. Drawing up the budget for the city is a huge job, and I think it was well done. We had a lot of discussion about it, and I think we're pretty much all set for the coming year. I would also like to say how nice the Made in Michigan event was this past weekend. I attended and enjoyed talking to people that had their Made in Michigan products to sell, and bought a few things and enjoyed the day. So thanks to the DDA for that nice event. Other than that, have a very nice evening and a great week. And we need to go into executive session now, so I need a motion for that.
Move to executive session. Do I need to say for what? No.
Okay, do we need to do roll call on that? Okay, roll call.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the rest of you cannot stay for that, so.
Motion to approve the termination of option agreement between the City of Mount Clemens and Park Place Tower Associates Limited Dividend Housing Association Limited Partnership, accept the recommended offer in the amount of $25,000 and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement.
Support.
The city was approached by Park Place Towers Associates Limited Dividend Housing Association Limited Partnership, owners of Park Place Towers located at 34 Park Street, regarding a certain option agreement between the partnership and the city that has been in place since 2002. At that time, the partnership granted to the city the option to purchase a vacant parcel of land adjacent to the apartment building for the sum of $1. This parcel fronts Park Street and is responsible for maintenance of the private roadway accessing the apartment building. The partnership requested that the city release the option and offered $25,000 to the city to do so. It is the recommendation of the city attorney, administration, including the city assessor, to accept the offer.
You ready to vote? Okay, roll call.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call.
Menser.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.